Okay, so we've been reading from the book This is Buddhism, and today we are on this part about the reality of um, human happiness and why do we need to seek for a happiness that doesn't collapse. But first, if we don't understand the nature of our happiness that is temporary and it's prone to collapsing and fading away, then we cannot understand the other form of happiness, which is lasting. So, three sad certainties of happiness. As we have seen, the efficacy of the wonder drug, Namu Amida Butsu, consists in destroying darkness of mind, fulfilling Amida's desire to save all people into absolute happiness, bestowing on them great peace of mind and satisfaction. The reader may be thinking, absolute happiness? Is there such a thing? The question is only natural. All the happiness that we know is relative. This includes the joys of marrying for love, achieving success at work, watching children grow, and so on. How is such happiness relative? Because it is contingent on comparison with others or with our past self. For example, suppose you got a raise at work. Comparing your new salary with past paychecks would make you happy. But what if you then found out that your colleagues were all earning more than you? Your happiness would instantly vanish and be replaced by discontent. We are glad and sad by turns, depending on how we compare with others. Our envy of people who have what we lack, whether in money, work, family, appearance, or ability, causes us to suffer. Absolute happiness, on the other hand, allows us to rejoice. No one is as fortunate as me. Relative happiness is important in life, but it has three sad certainties. One, it's never enough. Two, it doesn't last. Three, it collapses at our death. Let us examine each of these certainties in turn. One, relative happiness is never enough. Everyone enjoys the pleasure of eating good food. When we start taking the food we eat for granted, however, we start wanting meals that are tastier, more unusual, or fancier, and we are no longer content with what we have. This is true not only of food. Getting something we want makes us happy at first, but in time we grow dissatisfied and want something better or newer. Every success, whether at work or in the pursuit of an art, brings on a succession of fresh challenges. Surely someone who attains true mastery must know lasting contentment, we think, but those performing at the highest levels are keenly aware of how far short of perfection they fall. This is true of athletes and experts of all kinds. Miyamoto Musashi, 1584 to 1645, undefeated in over 60 duels, is considered Japan's greatest swordsman. But at the end of his life, he is said to have lamented, I am just a beginner. When our desires are satisfied, we end up craving twice as much, and so we are never content. The harder we try, the less satisfied we are. This is the nature of relative happiness. The quest for more knows no end. Relative happiness cannot provide true peace of mind or satisfaction. 2. Relative happiness doesn't last. Even if we know the great happiness of marrying for love, there is no telling when the beloved may grow sick or meet with an accident. Also, affections are fickle. Couples grow apart, leading not just to divorce, but to battles over possessions and parental rights. Glance around and you will see widows mourning the loss of their husbands, widowers grieving the loss of their wives, parents enraged by their children's betrayal. An accident or natural disaster can plunge the happiest household into darkness overnight. Such ephemeral happiness is what Tanisho calls this world fleeting and unstable as a burning house. Mujo, the word here translated as fleeting and unstable, is a core Buddhist term meaning mutability or impermanence. We live in a mutable world that is subject to change moment by moment, causing us endless anxiety, just as if we were living in a burning house. Okay, very good. So up to here for today. Yeah, I think some people have this kind of sensitivity to the impermanence of life. They see the transient nature of things, how everything can change so quickly. And it does cause anxiety, but also it helps us have the right view of seeing things for what they are. And Buddha says it's as if we were living in a burning house. Imagine like if a neighbor's house is on fire, our house is still fine, but the fire is getting spread. And do you think we would say, oh, let me finish my breakfast right now? I'm having my cereal. Let me finish my cereal first, and then I'm gonna start putting out the fire. You know, there's no way we can enjoy that meal knowing that the fire is there. So we would drop everything to extinguish the fire. So similarly, when we begin to realize how this relative happiness is constantly changing and doesn't last, naturally we aspire for a happiness that holds us fast, never to abandon us, and that's how our spiritual quest begins. And it's often the case that seekers are rewarded, as they say, the seeker shall find. So we can find the teaching and go forward in this way together. So good job, everyone, for being here, practicing together. We will have the ABCs of Buddhism for newbies at 7 a.m. Pacific time and have a, oh, and then we also have 10:30 a.m. Lecture